So let's see. It's like a really big volume hit here. Oops. It's interesting, I'm just kind of visually teaching right now. Alright. In the beginning, these are like run through a totally separate thing. I see, yeah. They're both pushed into 6. I think they're the only ones in 6, to be honest. Fruity reverb, fruity delay. So I'm gonna put save, and I'm gonna put epic verb on here. Don't really have to save for that, but whatever. Did it anyway. Where is it? There it is. Found epic verb. Now we know its dirty little secret about always being wet. That sounds really wrong. Oh my god. Okay, let's go to abnormally large and see what happens. All right. I really want to highlight these. These need more space. Like, I think these ones have to sound the most spacious out of anything. So, we already pumped this one to its max, right? So, I'm going to do something unprecedented and add space to the space by adding a Sheppy on top of it. We just want to absolutely pump out as much space as possible from it, you know? Because it's the whoop whoop thing, and the whoop whoop thing will sound kind of bad if you don't have a lot of space for it. So let's see what happens there. Yeah, you know. 17. I'm gonna throw an EQ on this. Just again to make sure it's not messing with anything. Just there. There. So now we can go back to the master and then turn on the magic EQ. Now it should do its work. Think about this, you can hear it working. You can hear the magic EQ making things better, but it's the weirdness of the melody that gets in the way of that, right? So, without even looking, let's kind of tweak it. I know a lot of the information for the synth is around this area here, right? And this is the area we mess with the most. So this down here is probably fine. A little bit more air, obviously fine. I should spike this a little bit of a higher point and dip this at a higher point. Maybe make like a lower sort of wobble here. EQing could be extremely subtle, but when you get good enough at it, you just kind of want to do it. You know, you don't even have to listen to the song as long as you know the right patterns. So another thing I'll do with particularly tricky ones is I'd actually warm it up very, very slightly, wide bandwidth at around 500. It just seems to help sometimes. Let's see. Thinking. I think we'll change epic verb here. Put in the restrooms. Also, if you're wondering why it's popping so much, it's because I changed some settings earlier to make a better like export, to export something better, and then I didn't change it back. And it could be fine in a lot of people's PCs, but make sure it's on 44-100. That's easiest for your computer to use. But anyway, lagging a little bit, but it does sound marginally better. But at the same time, this sound, it can't have any sort of, what am I trying to say? It can't sound small, let's just say. It has to be quite a big thing. Like this end of time sounds a bit scary. So, of course, make it a bit like equal dry wet. Let's see what it sounds like. Starting here. A bit too big. Wow. No wonder why it's called end of time. I think if you like put a snare at the end of a song, I kind of want to do that. Yeah, if you put like a snare at the end of a song with this preset, it will sound pretty neat. Let me say that. Let's do it. Why not? Screw it, let's do it. Pattern 15. Blah, blah, blah. Just doing a test. Don't do that, by the way. Don't follow my example. I'm a teacher, but no. Just kidding. Anyway, we're going to want to clone it. Just use that same snare. Put that with this one up to 20. Put that in the beginning. And click there. Throw some epic verb on there. Put on a preset for end of time. Open it up. Make it wet and dry equal. And then for like the last thing in the entire song. And we're going to super extend this because the reverb lasts for so long. Okay, let's see. You see that? Yeah, it's you hear that in some songs. It's just super long, ringing out reverb. But we're not going to keep it on this, obviously, because we're still hearing that. Jeez, yeah, we're gonna want to make this one a little bit smaller. A guitar ballad. What sort of reverb would that be? So I take back everything I said about this. This is epic verb, like accurate name. The reverb is actually quite good, very realistic, very professional. Usually I don't hear this sort of performance out of free plugins. So kudos to them for sure. Let's see. That's awful. If that ever happens, don't blame yourself. I guess, you know, this sometimes happens for absolutely no reason. It could be a project that you've been working on for ages, and even at like 26% CPU usage, it would stutter like a mofo. Why? I don't know. It has a mind of its own, okay? It's computers. Yep. Yeah, it seems to sound a bit better spatialized like that. So, I hope you understand how I made this, because FL Studio is kind of dying right now. But I think I've kind of proved my point that, like about how songs are made, I guess. Make it how you want. It's all trial and error. Throw together patterns, make sure they all fit together, put together drum beats, and listen to other music, see if you get inspiration from that. But really don't think too hard about it. Just do it, you know. A song will always appear as long as you just throw the notes on the page, you know. Every time I try to make a plan about what to make, it's always something completely different anyway. There's not even a single bit of point to trying to plan a song like this. You know, aim for your genre, maybe aim for sad or happy or some sort of emotion. But from there, it will take on a mind of its own. Trust me on that. So, got one assignment though. So we got this song, right? What I want you to do is finish it. Or if you made a song along with this one using advice from it, then finish the song and send it to me. I want to listen to all your songs. I want you to finish them, and I want to listen to them all. I'll give a quick rundown on song structure first, just to give you a little bit of a kickstart. So this is intro, and then starts the main part. Usually it's not just like a 4-bar intro. Usually it fill up like a full section, I guess. Sometimes, yeah, usually intros go up to about here, I think, like 8 bars. Mine's kind of short. But again, it doesn't matter what other people say. Just do what feels right. So if you want to make an intro that's like 1 bar long, all the power to you. As long as it sounds good. As long as it sounds good to you, you know, if you want it to sound good to everyone, of course. But if it sounds really good to you and not good to anyone else, screw them, you know. Doing it for you. So yeah. This is the intro. Then you got first part before the drop. You got the drop. Another part of the drop is kind of like the relief from it. Drop, relief. After that, you do something that's similar to this part. You'll be using like the main drums and everything. And maybe you won't use these anymore because you've overused them. You just come up with some other sound that you like. And you're like, ooh, that sounds good. Throw some notes on a page. Put it with the other stuff. And if you think it sounds good, it sounds good. And you just build upon it that way. Then once you get enough of that out of the way, you go to another drop, which has the same bass kicks as this, same drums. maybe a different pattern here or the same, depends on what sort of feeling you want to go for. And then a completely different sort of drop thing. You know, like every drop has its theme. Like think of Animals by Martin Garrix. Like just the like kind of wood block. I can't sing like a wood block, but you know what I mean. That's its thematic thing, and mine is the whoop whoop whoop. So once you're done with the whoop whoop whoops, I'd say move on. Don't return to the whoop whoop whoops. They've been used up. Let's say it's like it would be starting to wear on people by this point. Like this is about the limit that people can take. Maybe you'd bring them back for like the last section. But you know, give some people a break. Just think of something else that might be neat to put here, and then just throw it in the next drop. Drops take the same form as they do here. And then you'll have a song, and you can make an outro if you want, but by that time it will just be a complete song. You just put all these things you see here. You know, you got your build up with kick drums, you have your samples that you use. So remember to use lots of samples in your music. I mean it. Put some atmospheric things in to fill space. Use some automation if you need to lower volume or something. I actually did this because the build-up I made here didn't really mesh perfectly well with this. But if I turn down the volume and when these are going up, it would match pretty much perfectly with pattern 8. So that's why I did that. Put that in, automation all you like. Just go nuts, you know? The best producers, they usually don't start that way, just going nuts. But if they did, they would have been good right from the beginning. And you can be good right from the beginning. You can be tone deaf and you can still make something that doesn't sound half bad as long as you're just kind of following your lead, you know? Just do what you need to do. That's how songs work. So yes, go out there, finish this song, finish your own song, and send it to me. I will listen to it and I'll tell you about it, all right? That's what I want you to do. That's your assignment. Cheers, peeps.